Skyrim is a game full of many creatures, everything from dragons to butterflies. You can even play as an orc or a lizard, but today I wanted to answer the question, can you beat Skyrim as a fish? So what does this run entail? Well, basically we're going to be playing as a fish and using fish as weapons. It's a simple enough run and premise. I did however only install the fish race mod a bit into the run, so that is why we start out as an orc. Our only goal in this run is beating the game using only fish to deal damage. So first things first, yes, I installed a mod to skip the intro as I had to install other mods for this run to work properly. I did not know it would leave me in Markarth however, so my first objective, of course, it's to go and get a weapon for myself. I need 5 silver-side perch fish in order to fuse them together to create what I can only assume is going to be a fish that can do the same damage as that of a megalodon. I sell what I can and buy my first bits of fish before stealing what I can and making my way to the blacksmith outside to see what I need to craft my master weapon of destruction. After living out my teen fantasy, I make my way to Whiterun to buy more silverside perch, but I am unsuccessful. I thought the blacksmith might sell fish, but sadly, no. At this stage, I just make my way to Helgen to then make my way to the Warrior Stone, and then embracing the run for all it's worth, I swim down the river, fish napping every fish I can on the way down, but only get 1 silverside perch. I just Google where I can catch the silverside perch and make my way to Riften, and then just keep swimming around the lake outside the city until I get all 10 silverside perch that I need, because we all know that if you're using a shit weapon, you may as well use 2 of them. I end up just stealing everything I can from the Riften fishery and docks before I have enough to craft my weapon of choice. I finally get my hands on 2 fish and I'm ready to go, and sadly, no, you cannot sharpen your fish at a grindstone. I go to Embershard Mine to test out the fish and to get some armor to keep me going until I get my hands on some heavy armor. I know I'm only level 1 and so are the bandits, but the damage isn't all that bad, but this is early game, so I'm sure to get weaker as we go on. I get my first level up and level up my stamina, as more stamina equals more power attacks and blocking with my fish if I choose to use them one-handed instead of 2. I make my way to a nearby small bandit camp to get some free iron armor and a level up in one-handed. I go back to Riverwood to sell what I can, as my plan is to enchant these fish, so I'll need a lot of gold, and in order to change into my true form it'll cost me 1,000 gold. I get my second level up going down to the Radway and decapitate some loser before seeing an old friend and talking to the face sculptor, who in exchange for 1,000 gold turns me into my true form, a slaughterfish human. Just a few notes real quick. I noticed with this mod I was able to equip as much armor as I wanted and it's stacked, so I always make sure to only have 1 piece of armor on at all times. I also try to play in third person as much as I can, so you can see the power of the fish in all its glory, and last note, I am wearing armor now but you cannot see it with the mod enabled. We level up again after disenchanting some bits and talk to Jarl Balgruuf, who gives me an armor upgrade, and then the wizard sends us to dungeon number 1 to collect the Stone of Dragons. Honestly, dual wielding the fish is actually quite fun. Before heading back into the dungeon, I go back to Riverwood to sell what I can and then make my way through the dungeon. As usual, it wasn't too difficult at all. I pick up everything I can in order to sell it later and make my way to Big Evil Spider. Luckily, we leveled up during this encounter to heal ourselves and take out the spider, and Avril Lavigne no bother. The Overlord can't withstand the power of our floppy fish, so we send him flying and make our way to Merlin. Balgruuf hands us the death quest to slay a dragon in the area. We level up our dual wielding speed and set our sights on the Western Watchtower. We get roasted while the dragon is flying, and when he finally lands we spam food and dual wield attack until we take him down. The old men in the clouds shout at us. We kill the Man of Steel for another armor upgrade and steal the horse from the nearby Stormcloak camp in order to scale the mountain. The soldiers can't get the taste of fish out of their mouth and we start the scale of the mountain. We reach High Hrothgar when we shout, learn a shout, demonstrate the shout, learn another shout, demonstrate our other shout, and then sent on a quest to Ustengrav to get the relic of Jurgen. We get done fucked sideways by the cultists before leading them near a guard so the guard and the townsfolk can help me with clearing them out. I unload my inventory to Lucan yet again and make my way to Ustengrav. Just as usual, there was no trouble in dungeon number 2 and I find out the horn has been stolen, so we must make our way back to Riverwood to retrieve the horn. Delphine trusts us now, so we steal all her belongings before going down to her sex dungeon, where I am informed that dragons are coming back to life. She conveniently knows where the next dragon is being resurrected. We make our way to Coinsgrove via cart, but not before talking to Aventus Arantino, as yes, we will be completing the Dark Brotherhood questline in this run too. We make it down to Coinsgrove, where I am met by Alduin for our second time, and surprisingly Sulcanir is actually a challenge this time around. costing me healing supplies, but in the end we get the final blow with our fish and Delphine tells us that Thalmor are the bad guys and probably behind it, so she starts a plan for us to sneak into their embassy to find proof that they know dragons are coming back. As I've already killed Grelod, I don't know why, but the quest was not working properly for me as I already killed her, but the game refused to recognise that she was dead. I just console command the quest to the point I should be at and make my way back to the little orphan boy to collect my prize. I steal his cheese and make my way back to the old men to give them back their horn and take a nap in a riverwood where I am fish napped and told to kill one of the hostages, so I just kill them all and Astrid invites me to the Dark Brotherhood. I make my way to Solitude where I give Malborn my belongings before making my way up to the embassy where Razorblade Man causes a distraction for us, and once we slip out and get our belongings back, I just start to go ham on every one of my sites, but not before stealing what I can from the kitchen. We kill the cat and take on the Thalmor soldiers in the next room who only cost me some cheese. As usual, outside we take on the wizard first before eating more cheese, leveling up our health and one-handed, and taking out the rest of the soldiers. The exact same can be said for the next part of this quest too. We clear out the rest of the Thalmor, learn about Esbern and get wrecked. On our second attempt I stay on top of my health and stamina before taking out Malborn and Thieves Guild member 2. I'm assuming we're on a most wanted list now, so I make my way to Falkreath to get started on the Dark Brotherhood questline. Nazir sends us on our first murder session. I sell what I can in Whiterun to buy some soul gems from Farengar, but after this is when some certain substances that I am sure I am not allowed to mention on YouTube kicked in, so I just did the Dawnstar chest glitch in order to speed up the enchanting process as I wanted this run to be fun and to come out at some stage before 2025. I go back to Delphine and Riverwood to tell her about Esbern where she sends me the Rift in to find him. I buy a smithing enchantment item from the blacksmith and put it on some gear to improve my armour. I return to Dawnstar to loot what is rightfully mine and enchant my 2 fish and level up again. We return to Riverwood and finish enchanting our gear so we can finally get on with the run. I added Fortify one hand into much of my gear, but I don't actually think this changed the damage of the fish, at least it didn't on paper. We return to Dawnstar where Draken is attacking, a perfect opportunity to test out our new gear, and safe to say that I don't think we're going to have much trouble from here on out, but I'm still nervous for Fish v Alduin for round 1. I killed Beth as was requested of me days ago, then make my way to Windhelm to run down the road and take care of Papa. Because I skipped going to Iverstead earlier on, the game sends me back in there to take someone out, so I fast travel to Helgen and make my way there where I kill the schizophrenic man out in the open like the rest of my victims and make my way into the night. Making my way back to the Brotherhood, Cicero the Jester shows up with a coffin of the Night Mother. Astrid gives me my first proper contract and Nazir pats me on the head for such a good job. We go back to Markarth to get information on our next target from Yuri. We're sent to a dungeon just west of Wilhelm to kill her ex. As you can presume, these miserable humans cannot keep up with our fish monstrosity. We quickly run through the dungeon, fishing everyone in our way, taking almost no damage, and thanks to our enchantment, saving on healing items too. After approximately 2 minutes, we kill our target and go back to Markarth to collect our goods. Astrid sends me to hide in the coffin to eavesdrop on the clown. This is where, surprisingly, we find out that we are indeed the chosen one for the Dark Brotherhood, the listeners they call it. After what is basically an unskippable cutscene and we learn this information, Astrid is having none of it, so sends me back to Nazir for more contracts where we must kill Lubricant and Hearn. We break into Hearn's house to straight up murder him, and I do the same in Morthal to Lube. Astrid has changed her mind now, so she sends us on a quest the Night Mother wants us to go on, and this is where we find our new contract is to kill the Emperor. We return to Astrid, who sends us to Delvin in the Thieves Guild to get the amulet appraised, and he does, for 15,000 septims. We're sent to Solitude to kill a princess or something on the day of her wedding, and then we're sent to Dragonbridge to kill the commander's son and plant an incriminating letter on him. When we return to the Dark Brotherhood, we find out that Cicero has gone nuts and attacked who he could before making it off to another sanctuary which is only a stone's throw away from Dawnstar. When we arrive, we run into Astrid's husband who's wounded, and honestly, I just run in and out of this place as I could not have been fucked taking on all of the ghosts, the goddamn troll that's in the place, and I kill Cicero when I find him. When we return to Astrid and tell her the clown is dead, we're sent to kill Gordon Ramsay so we can disguise ourselves as him and we can act as the cook for the Emperor, because conveniently, no one knows what the famous chef looks like. We hide Gordon's body and one-shot a dragon before heading back to Riverwood to sell what we can before we're given the most potent poison in all of the land and make our way to Solitude to kill the Emperor. Even though we just killed the commander's son and attacked him, he fails to recognize me and I make my way to Gina. Now, this is where I have some bad news. This questline got fucked here somehow and I do not know how. I tried to fix it by restarting, attacking and reloading, and doing what I can to fix the quest, so I just resort to console commands where I actually end up messing up the entire questline and accidentally end the entire Brotherhood questline with one command. So technically yes, we did beat the questline, but in my next Skyrim run, I will be sure to do the Brotherhood questline again in its entirety. After this blunder, I make my way down to Esbern in the Ratway and escort him back to Riverwood to meet his long lost love, Dolphin, where we're all sent to Cartspire to find the magic wall of doom. At this stage, I had forgotten how to get the stupid fucking cunty stupid Elder Scroll, so to speed up this part of the run, here's what we did. We visited Septimus Cygnus in the Ice Down, where we're sent to Blackreach to get the Elder Scroll. As I've already used the Dawnstar chest glitch for this run, I said fuck it and just glitched my way into Blackreach with a play, as this run was already about 9 hours long and I just wanted it to be over at this stage. I run through Blackreach, ignoring every enemy in the way and completing the right to left puzzle to get the scroll. Afterwards, we make our way to Cartspire, where we run into 2 dragons outside, so I just ignore them both, head on in, doing the second easiest puzzle in all the game and cut myself on the ground to access the rest of the dungeon. Old Man Esbern reads the wall and tells us a shout is required to defeat Alduin, so we go back to the Greybeards to learn the shout and we're sent to the top of the mountain to meet Mario. We're forced to read our scroll to go through another unskippable cutscene, and now we face Alduin for the first time, and out of all my runs so far, this was by far the easiest Alduin fight yet. We dual wield the killer fish and just unleash our power of Fish Jesus on him till he flies away like a little bitch. We must trap a dragon in Dragon's Reach to take us where Alduin is, but in order to trap a dragon, we need to organise a peace council to basically press pause on the civil war for 5 minutes while I trap the dragon. I tell both Sinn Féin and Fianna Fáil to meet me at the top of the mountain, where for about 10 minutes we go through yet basically another unskippable cutscene. I trap the dragon in Whiterun, fly off on the dragon to a dungeon in the far east and jump through a portal to the afterlife, where I meet up with the terrible trio and we take on Alduin one last time, sending him to wherever the fuck dragons go when they die and answering yes, you can beat Skyrim as a fish. If you have any challenge run ideas you want to see, please leave them in the comments, and with that, I've been Dara, have a good day.